Hello, hello, my friends. You are watching Cryptos Plays, and I am your host, Cryptos. So, today, what I'd like to do is just show you guys my island on Animal Crossing a little bit. So, I've been working on the island for quite a while. I have pretty much done almost everything up to the 3.0 stuff and Happy Home Paradise. I haven't done all of that yet, but I've been building upon the island for quite a while, so I figured I'd show you guys. So I named my island Dragon Rock. It was kind of an inspiration. I don't know if some of you guys are older out there, but there used to be a television show called Fraggle Rock. So it was like a kids show, kind of like with puppets and stuff. But it's definitely not inspiration from that. But I kind of went with it because I like dragons. So I just went with it. So we are here on Dragon Rock, and I'm going to start with the grand entrance that I have, and then kind of loop around and kind of show you all the aspects of it. So starting out with rocks in mind, I have like a nice little rock portal here. So I synchronize the entrance with having same waterfall effect on the right and the same on the left. I figured synchronization with this grand entrance was kind of cool. I found this stone pattern that I really liked that I have like on most of the pathways on my island. There's another path style that I also adopted. I can eventually give you guys that information if you're looking to what stone paths you're looking at. But then I figured the lamps that you see on the right and the left, just something I really liked, and I add like a nice little effect on those. I use other kind of lamps and stuff that you'll see in the island, but we'll start in here in the grand entrance. So I wanted to make a sort of like effect, right? So here's my mailbox. I kind of have it like a standard mailbox. And this is the closest thing that I could get to a dragon. So here is my dragon. I kind of wanted to have I think there's a different color dragon, like a black one or something. I would rather have that, but I don't know anyone that has that color. So eventually maybe I'll find one, but I have a red one for now. So over on the left, you'll see, this way. This way is, and there you go. That is the residence. Over this way is the shops. So we're going to loop around to the shops real quick, and then we'll circle back around to some of the residents and where I live and stuff. But I do have residencies kind of scattered around. Up here is my museum, so I kind of have a nice synchronized waterfall effect as well over here. We'll go up to the museum. Hey, you know what? We'll do that first, because this is kind of the central area of my island, as you can kind of see on my map down there. It's not quite central, but it's close enough since my square is mostly central. So I have some nice little museum effects up there. I built a sunken Stegosaurus shrine, if you will, because like that's my favorite dinosaur. So I'm like, you know what, might as well make a nice fancy entrance. So here is sort of like what you would kind of see in like a big city or something in some of the museum effects. I do have a little Mario area here, because why not? We have to dedicate ourselves to Nintendo and some Mario, right? So I built a little dedication to Mario right over here. So I built a nice little waterfall going off of the side of the museum over there, and we'll go down there in a little bit. So here's my entrance to the museum, and I built like a nice little place so you can kind of sit, have a little cup of joe, and kind of like a little coffee stand right here. So this is something that I did. And we're not going to go up this way yet, because I'll explain that and once we loop around. But I'm going to go back down to the entrance, so we'll go towards the shop district and the square. So I'm a big fan of angled bridges. One of the things that I really liked, and I liked these Zen bridges a lot. So like I like the angle effect, because after I didn't even know you could do this at first. Found a video of somebody doing it. I'm like, you can angle a bridge, and I've been hooked ever since. So off to the square. So I've kind of built like a nice little like railing or fencing around the square just to kind of like dedicate entrances to it. It is on the edge of the area where the museum is, so I kind of want to keep this separate. Got KK playing here. I'll leave him alone. Dragon, of course, you can't really see him too well, but this was a dragon villager. His name was Drago. He's an alligator type, but I found him by luck. I didn't have an amiibo card or anything like that, so this island is named Dragon Rock. I mean, it speaks for itself, right? So, dragons. So, he's like the only one, I think, that I don't really know. I haven't looked at all the villagers, but I had to get him, obviously. And I was lucky that I had room when he showed up. So, I'm a big foodie, so I wanted a nice cafe. Can't really build a cafe outside in your home, but you can, but it's mostly outdoors. So I built a nice little cafe right off the square, so I figure if people are showing up, they can, you know, take a load off, have some eating, a nice little pizza oven here. I'm a big pizza guy. I make pizzas myself. But I wanted a nice little restaurant because I thought it showed some character and stuff. So that's part of what I wanted. And then here, we got a balloon. Here's a nice little band area. I don't have any seating for the band, but hey, at concerts, do you really sit anyway? Alright, let's get that present really quick. Alright, so we have a nice little band station area here, and then behind my waterfall effect for the entrance, I didn't really have much that I could put here. Didn't really know what to do with this that well. Suppose I could have had a nice little outdoor garden eating area. Maybe I'll do that eventually off of the restaurant. Maybe, we'll see. But I just built that up and I just have flowers there for now. This is a back entrance to the restaurant where you can just kind of exit where the band's playing. And this is in the tiny little beach that I have here. I don't put too much furniture and stuff on my beach outside of what you kind of see on a beach anyway. I might eventually put like beach towels, maybe another couple sandcastles. Who knows? This is one of my mouths, river mouths, by the way. I'm gonna catch plenty of sturgeon in. So I wanted a nice little, like, apples, by the way, are my native fruit. So kind of scattered some apple trees around and I had a nice little covered path. I always thought this was cool. Like in the fall and stuff, the foliage, right? Everybody loves the foliage. So down here, past the right side of my cafe and the lower right hand side of the island here, we're kind of where you can see my little marker on my map. We have another angled bridge, and I had a nice little river kind of curving. I wanted it to look kind of natural, not just a straight river. So I have like a nice little effect here, a little waterfall over there on the right, another angled bridge. So I kind of wanted to have like this beach theme, like sort of like a mini mall, right? Or like those malls that you see kind of side by side. So my wife is a big tropical person. She likes beaches and like tropical areas. So like this was sort of like an inspiration. I was like, hey, you know, we've been to a lot of shops on the beach, so that's kind of my inspiration. So I made this. I got the Able Sisters right here, and then on the right hand side we got the Nook's Cranny, and I kind of separated it with like a waterfall effect and a nice tree with the flow light, or the floor light, excuse me. And then another entrance here to go to the other bigger beach, and then I just sort of have the standard beach palm trees and, you know, lounge seats. And then my dock happens to be in the lower right corner, and this is where the hotel is. I've decorated most of the hotel, but we aren't going to go through that today. So here's Bianca. She's one of my residents. She is actually in a little area, a little residential area above the shopping center. So I have two residents up here. I have two female residents there. Bianca is over here on the right, and then I also have Diana, who is here on the left. And I built them kind of a nice little area with flowers. They got flowers up above there. You can take a little sneak peek at my campsite back there. We'll be going there in just a second. But nice little waterfall effect on the right for Bianca. Have some little outdoor eating area for her. kind of just built a nice, this is where I can get my cliffside fish right up here. But I built just like a nice little nook for them right above the the resident, the shopping center, excuse me. Man, I can't even speak today. Okay, well, we're gonna circle back around. We'll go to the campsite here in just a second. We'll run through here. I'm gonna put my slingshot away. Here's another visitor from the hotel. So this suspension bridge, you can see a nice little waterfall here on the right of the plaza. So this had a nice little water effect, and this river actually goes all the way down to the river mouth. And this will go to the museum in the Mario area. That's kind of like another little shortcut I have. So this suspension bridge is bringing us to the campsite, and then thanks to the 3.0 update, we have a nice little camping sign, so I put that in here. I kind of covered it with some foliage, and I liked the idea of kind of separating your island out, so I kind of made this nice pathing area that's kind of covered, kind of indicate that you're going somewhere new. And then I kind of have it opening up right here, and here's where I have the primary tent for the campsite, and I kind of made it look like it's a campground, kind of. It's like where you kind of go to chill and relax when you're camping. So I have a nice little fire pit here, growing marshmallows. I have a little bench and a table that people can eat on. I might put some camping looking food on here, who knows. Now that I have more food recipes and stuff, I might do that. And I kind of just cover most of my cliffs and upper areas with flowers because I don't want to have to climb all the way up there and get sticks, weeds, let alone fossils. And this will bring you out to the rest of my beach on the right hand side. Kind of just have another nice little waterfall effect here. But we're going to circle back around and go back up past the campsite and to the top of the square. Again, angle bridges, I think they look the best. So here I wanted a fountain area. I have a nice little gazebo, just kind of a chill spot, I guess. Kind of like a filler spot, really, for the island, because I didn't want to cram too many things in here. So up here and to the right, a lot of foliage on my cliffs. But so I have Alfonso, there he is, and my other alligator. He has kind of got that dirt looking interior, so I built him kind of a swamp looking area. I have mushrooms and I have some glowing moss. So I built him a little pond. Fish don't sprout in this pond, but the one by the campground do. But I just wanted to give him like a little home sweet home, I guess. Made him a mushroom stool. And then down here to the right, I have Avery. He is a bird. I can show you. He's the bird villager. There he is. Avery lives right here. He's got sort of a Arizona-y desert look. So I kind of built him into a cliff face, kind of to make him in that deserty area, looking area. So I don't have too much other than like a woolly mammoth back here, but you know, it's funny, woolly mammoths are in the desert, but, you know, effects, right? So here is Bettina, yeah, excuse me. So she's in the interior of her house. She's got like cooking themes. So I was like, you know what, I'll just kind of turn you into a farmer. So I made her a farmer. So she's got a little bit of a farm going on here. This is a visitor. I am farming for gold roses. Pun. So I kind of took over some of her farm here, and I was eventually doing tulips. But here I just kind of have some filler. Didn't really know what to do with this spot yet. My island, it's outcropping off the beach, is here. I only have one of them. And then the top here I have a lighthouse. And I kind of, around the corner on the cliff face there, I kind of just have flowers, so I don't have to worry about a fossil showing up there or anything that I need to collect. So you might see these people walking around in a jester. So in one of the borrowed outfits, I made a clown. So like, I don't know, I just thought it'd be silly. How many people are gonna adopt the clown outfit? So I liked, this is probably one of my only straight horizontal bridges, just because this effect I really liked a lot. So I kind of built like a shrine, some bamboo, and then made this kind of synchronized. And then I also have a little pit that kind of goes down here. I liked this concept. I saw it on someone else's island. I don't remember who, but I liked it, and I've kept it. So here is kind of a filler area behind Alfonso's house, and then this kind of brings you, I have it all clustered in here because after the 3.0 update, I made a Zelda shrine. I made this Triforce rock myself just because I didn't see anyone else have one, so I kind of built this and just kind of created it myself. But I'm a huge Zelda fan. It's one of my favorite games of all time, series, like all of them. So I dedicated this area to Zelda. So this down here gets down to the museum, and I wanted to cluster this up with trees to kind of make it like the Hidden Forest and the Sacred Grove, but didn't want to take away some of the space from the museum and the residents that are kind of over there, but I kind of made that entrance here and just have that here. So this is my Zelda area. My hidden beach is right down here too. I kind of collected all the items that I got from Gullivar, kind of put them down here as like a secret pirate stop. So on the left of the grove, and then here on the map you can see we're at the top central portion, just right behind the museum. This is where Drago lives. Kind of built him a nice Asian inspired imperial dragon area, I guess you could say, because he's my dragon villager, so I got like that theme going on for him. And I did have it where the Master Sword area is, but I had to shift that over to make the Sacred Grove, so here's that area. Down here, this is another resident Cookie. I built her a nice little spot with a pool, just to kind of get her right behind the museum there. Here I got the moon and the asteroid effect there, and we'll circle around. And we're at the left of the museum now, and here you get a sneak peek of the orchard that I have. So Cookie lives right near Drago. And then this will bring us down to the left corner. I wanted to make sure that I always had the fruit around, either for recipes or if any other people want fruit, or if I need money, I can sell them. So I do have all of the other trees and fruit that I do not have native to my island here. So I also have a home. This is Sky's home. She's working out right now. How's it going, Sky? I used to have Bill here, but I didn't like Bill so much, and then I wanted a wolf on my island to kind of keep with that theme with Zelda. Like, we got the dragon from Zelda, kind of. Now we have a wolf, even though she doesn't quite look like it's the only wolf that I could really get in a short amount of time. But she is the queen of the orchard. So I kind of built like a nice little orchard residence that she's the gatekeeper and the caretaker, I guess you could say. And then I have a nice little path off to the left here to the other corner of my beach, so that way I don't have to use the vaulting pole to get over. This is my second and last river mouth. I thought I heard a present. I did not. So here is the orchard. And then, so I kind of took over the orchard a little bit. Here's my failed snowman. Because I'm trying to make purple roses here. I'm trying to do the blue roses. So, and I'm not time skipping. So, and then here, these are actually hybrid whites with the purple. So I'm like a few steps in on the purple rose path, but I have quite a ways to get there. And here I just needed some filler space. So this is a natural river that goes to my other river mouth right here. And this is another area I adopted for getting white roses for the hybrids for trying to get blues. So wish me luck. I heard it's crazy to get them on your own, but we'll see. So here in the residence area here is just a little bit, this is kind of behind my house, but just to give you an idea of where we're at. this is the central point of getting onto the island. So this is now the residence area. So Bones, here he is. I don't know what he has. What do you have in your hands? Okay, he put it away. He's running through my roses. So here is where Bones lives, and then I built sort of like a little park here. So we have a nice little play park here. This is behind my home, and that's my garden that you see over there. This is a money tree that I have growing. So we'll scoot down to my... So I have a nice little path right off the little bit of a river mouth here. This and waterfall effects, and I just kind of filled it up with flowers just because I didn't want to have to climb up there in case of fossil spawn. And then I also have up on that cliff just full of flowers because didn't really have much else to do with it. But this is my home. So this is where I live. I have a blue house, and I kind of have it on the beach here because, again, my wife is big into tropical areas, and I kind of, I don't know, didn't really build it for her, but I mean, inspiration, you know, you get it where you get it. So I have a little patio here. I will eventually show you the interior of my home. Probably will do an episode of, you know what, we'll show you. We'll show you the home. It'll be a quick little tour. We're doing a tour, right? So here's my entrance area. I like pool, pinball. So I just kind of built like a livable space, right? Sure. Back here in the back room, I have an office. Kind of built, I have some little Zelda effects, but I also wanted to have like a little trophy space. I'm working my way to getting the trophies for the fish and the bugs. Don't quite have them yet. I do have the golden trophy though for the Happy Home Academy. That, ooh, you really had to decorate your house to get that. But I kind of backed off from that a little bit, so I kind of built an area for offices, trophies, what have you. Over here on the right, I built a little bit of a bathroom. So, kind of built just a bathroom, elegant bathroom, I guess. Kind of fancy, right? Okay, we're going to turn that off. And back when I started this game, I was raising a son for the first time, so I wanted to... I was inspired by making like a kid's room. So once I got the Lego floor, I threw that on here, but I kind of made this room... There used to be a lot more in here, but I kind of scaled back a little bit after I got the golden trophy from Happy Home Academy. But here's kind of the kids' room. Oop. Hey, the stairs are that way, buddy. Okay. And then the last room, I made a tropical getaway, I guess you could call it. Again, this was inspired by my wife a little bit. Thinking about her. Here I just have a marlin just chilling. Yeah, so that's kind of the inside of my home. Nothing too crazy. I haven't dabbled in doing the pillars and all that other stuff with Happy Home Paradise, but I've done that a little bit. I haven't finished it. I think I've decorated 19 homes so far. Here's my little garden, so I can... Oh, I gotta water these tomatoes. I do have 2 gold roses now that I got, but I'm still working on getting more. Here's where Minoru lives. I invited Minoru to come on my island, because why not? You know, Zelda stuff. So I built her home here, kind of threw some Zelda effects in here. This beach, I kind of decorated these rocks a little bit. Didn't know what to do with some of these flowers that are in my way, so I kind of just built an area for those. And that loops us all the way around to the island. Again, my island is Dragon Rock, and I'm more than happy to share more with you guys. I'm probably going to be showing you the hotel and some of the rooms that I've done, and maybe some Happy Home Paradise resort homes and stuff that I've built, and maybe the cafe and the restaurant over there. But again, thank you again for visiting and touring my island. That guy's going to get in my way. And again, this is Crypto's Plays, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you very much.